Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got another video for you here today. Of course, this is another set of the Nendoroid Petites. And this is kind of a limited edition set and an interesting crossover with Lucky Star versus Street Fighter, or possibly in this case Street Fighter 2. Because we look at our four main characters here. You have Tsukasa, Kagami, you have Miyuki on the far right, and of course Kanata. And it's interesting the characters they chose here, because of course, you know, you have Tsukasa in the red outfit, of course, trying to be Ken, and then Kagami in the white Ryu outfit, and in green is Kanata, who's obviously dressed up as Guile. But Miyuki, it took me a little bit longer to figure out, because apparently she is doing the character Fei Long, and he was an addition later on into the series. He's obviously not one of the initial release characters, so it took me a little bit to figure out who Miyuki was exactly trying to be there. Before we get everyone out of the box and set up, let's kind of take a quick look at the box first. And this is certainly a very colorful one. Of course, trying to recreate the vitality bar at the top here that you'd normally have in pretty much any fighting game. But of course, on the bottom here we also see all the multiple licenses, and this of course is from the Good Smile Company, as the Nendoroid line typically is. And now we have a couple stickers over here in the corner. We of course have the Kadokawa sticker denoting the Kadokawa license on the property for Lucky Star, but also we have a Capcom sticker as well, because obviously Capcom is the licensee on the Street Fighter series. On our right side of the box we just kind of have a couple stock photos here of all the characters included, and as you might have noticed on the front here, kind of down, there's a set of arms. So of course Kanata-chan has two different ways you can pose her arms, so two different sets, either out, kind of like a flying motion with the kick, or you can give her the kind of the rounded arms, I guess, a little bit of a muscle pump, you might say. But on the back here, of course, we have more of the information about this set here, and of course all of it is basically in kanji, so can't really tell what any of this says. We do have the Q code on the back and web address to go to Good Smile. And on our other side here, we of course again have a stock photo and you know, the other pose for Kanata. So why don't we go ahead and get everybody out of the box and set up here. Well, I certainly have to say, with these Nendoroid Petites that Good Smile comes out with, the amount of articulation that they make possible in some of these figures is absolutely mind-blowing, considering how small they are. Now, Tsukasa's pretty basic. She has the ability to swivel her head, and she's got a swivel at the hips, plus they have a joint on the left leg, so you can kind of pose that. And of course, both arms have joints as well, so you can make subtle movements of those. Now here is Kagami. Kagami has articulation that you can actually move her hair. Both of the ribbons have a joint. There are joints at the arms, there's a joint at the hips, and then the right leg also has a joint. If you wish to kind of pose her to more of a kicking motion, you can. Now Izuna here, she's pretty basic. She's got a joint at the hips, she's got the arms, and of course, as I mentioned, the arms are interchangeable. We will I'll go ahead and let you see a pose of her with the change of arms, but there's also a one joint on the leg there, so you can kind of edit the amount of the kicking motion. And of course, she's got the joint there at the neck, so you can kind of change the point of where her head is turned. Now, they allow two possible positions with the little support on the back here. You can also, there's a place in the body. Part of that, I believe, is also because, you know, you are completely allowed to change the heads around on these. So you can have any of the characters wearing whichever one of the Street Fighter outfits you wish. Just need to change the heads on them, no big deal. But Miyuki here, I have to say, with the Fei Long, this one offers the most possibilities, certainly. Although they don't have the joint for the legs, you're kind of stuck with this leg pose. There is a joint at the hips, but with the arms, not only are there joints, let me get this in the frame, I'm sorry. Not only are there joints at the shoulders to move the arms, but you'll also notice there's a joint here at the elbow on this arm. There's a joint on the elbow on this arm as well. So you kind of have multiple positions that you're allowed to pose the arms for Fei Long. And then of course you also have the joint at the neck for the head. Plus, with Miyuki here, there's a joint on the ponytail as well. So you can kind of manipulate the ponytail a bit based on where you want her standing, and it kind of acts as a little bit of a support for her as well. All right, good. I'm going to change these up just a little bit. We'll be back in just a second. And there we go. As I mentioned, the ability to kind of change these up on the fly however you see fit. So very cool indeed, and it still amazes me that they can put this much articulation into something that's this small. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in for another video on the channel. More for you to come here, because eventually when I get to it, I have the Angel Beats sets as well, and they go to a entirely new level for me of articulation and possible display, because I mean, these that are coming up aren't just jointed, but they have multiple additions you can make as far as different arms, different legs, different bodies, different faces, just like your standard Nendoroids, only like a fraction of the size. Take care everyone, we'll talk to you again soon.